Hi, I'm Debra Charles, founder and CEO of Novacroft. Not long after I was born, I was adopted, and I had brilliant parents. They taught me some fantastic values. That said, I really struggled at school. I felt in life I didn't fit in. I didn't feel clever enough. I was told that I was thick. And I felt alone, I felt lonely. And by the time I was 15, I had a breakdown, and it must have been awful for my parents. I know it was pretty awful for me. Fast forward to when I was 22, and I managed to bag myself a job at a robotics organisation, and it was a fantastic job. I learned so much about technology and I loved it. It appealed to my creative thinking style, etc. And I was lucky enough to work with a team that together we took robotics into the automotive industry to improve manufacturing. And today, 30 odd years later, I think that we had a major impact on the way that cars are produced today. Fast forward again to my early 30s, and unfortunately I lost my parents. They both died of cancer fairly closely together, and it was, as you know, it's an incredibly devastating thing to happen. That said, it gave me some kind of odd privilege card. And I say that, privilege card, are you joking? What it actually did was to help me realise that life is fragile, and fear didn't exist anymore because the worst thing in my life had already happened. So I wanted to use this feeling wisely. And when I was younger, one of the big things for me is I felt like I'd been landed like a blob on the land, and I wanted to feel like I could make a difference. So I wanted to make a mark somehow to leave this planet, not as an anonymous person that had been left as a blob, but to be somebody that helped make a difference. So I decided to set up an organisation called Novacroft. Novacroft is a smart technology, software development and customer care organisation based in Northamptonshire. Now in our 21st year, 250 team members, and typically we've helped and do continue to help organisations in the energy sector, the transport sector and the charity sector. We help them simplify complex processes. We help them get more for less. We help them enable their clients, their passengers, their customers feel that they're valued, feel that they belong and can get what they need when they need it for less. We've made £55 million worth of grant funding on behalf of government. We've enabled the transport sector to save millions and to reach over 30 million people. And in the charity sector, our newest sector, we want to do the same. We want to help the charity sector be here for the long term. So what now? So we're coming towards the fourth industrial revolution, and 2030 is only 11 years away. Well, what strikes me is that if you look at the statistics, for instance, McKinsey say today there are 192 million people without jobs. By 2030, there will be over 800 million people without jobs across the globe. 800 million. So yes, new jobs are going to be created, but there are going to be lots of jobs that won't be there. So we have to do something about that. We cannot leave that situation and get towards it as we have with some other things that are happening in society now. We have to do something about it. I take that seriously. It's my responsibility as a leader of a business to start acting now, and I'm asking you to think the same. So what next? So one of the key things is around the charity sector. Now, in a recent survey, the Campaign magazine says 63% of people trusted their favourite brands more than they trusted anybody else. In one sense, I'm not surprised, given where we are at the moment. However, when you look at robotics are coming, when you look at artificial intelligence is coming, there are huge opportunities, but there are also perils. We have to ensure that the people now are able to contribute effectively to society. That goes from children all the way through to people in middle to later life. So in order to support people and avoid the perils that face society and to seize the opportunities, we need the charity sector to be there in the long term. But if you look at today, the charity sector is struggling. In some ways it's struggling, in not many ways it's flourishing, but in some ways it's struggling. And it's struggling to get funds, and it's struggling to keep and grow its volunteering, its membership, etc. Most often that's because they're having to work under the bonnet, and there are all sorts of different reasons why they can't. But if we want them to be there in the long term, we need them to be fit for the future. It's in all of our interests. We need the charity sector to be there. So what am I asking of you? Well, we started again called the #Charity Forum. This organisation is a small group of leaders in the charity sector that are looking at 2030 and looking at today and looking at the gap and collaborating on what are the challenges, what are the barriers, what are the opportunities, and what can we do about them, and what's stopping us, and coming together to create insights that can help us all be fit for the future, to help our children have the future they deserve. So my ask of you is, would you like to join the Charity Forum? Would you like to talk to us about being fit for the future? Thank you for listening. I'm Debra Charles, CEO of Novacroft. Nice to talk to you. Bye.